let's run up a milli.
If you're trying to kiss ass, better get a room. If you got no cash, let the credit boom. You gotta pay tax on the revenues.
What's up, guys? It's Wednesday, February 16th. It's 1:07 p.m. and this is the Daily Tea. So diving right into it, the banks that have invested in crypto and blockchain companies, we have some heavy hitters. We have ING, UBS, BBVA, MUFG, Citibank, Barclays, JP Morgan, BlackRock. You already know about BlackRock. BNY Mellon, BNP Paribas, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Charles Schwab, Standard Chartered. You can see that it just keeps stacking up. The amount of institutions getting involved in crypto and blockchain, it's ridiculous. So if these companies are getting involved, it's only a matter of time where it's everywhere else, like Walmart, Target, Wendy's, McDonald's, and it's already happening today. So let's dive into the next thing. So Fidelity International launches its first Bitcoin exchange traded product in Europe. So they've been trying to launch it in the US, but the US regulations is more strict, and they just recently launched it in Europe. So as soon as the US figures out its regulations, this will be happening in the US too. Then we have Silvergate to continue working with regulators ahead of stablecoin pilot launch. So the lender recently bought Meta's stablecoins, tech, and assets, and they're planning on a full 2022 launch of its stablecoin, but at first will focus on regulatory clearance and then a pilot program. So it's just that regulatory clarity. We're just waiting on it, and then all of these dominoes will fall. Then we can go to the next thing. So this came out of nowhere. Stasis will issue a Euro stablecoin using the XRP ledger. It looks like something they mentioned in a subscriber newsletter. So Stasis says it will issue Euro stablecoin using XRP ledger. Not sure what Stasis is. Let's maybe dive into it real quick to see what that's all about. So Stasis, it looks like it's a tokenization platform, and it's bringing the power of blockchain to traditional asset classes. So they're launching a Euro on the XRP ledger. So let's go to the next thing. Canada authorizes emergency rules to cut off protesters' access to funds, including crypto. So that's why it's so important to put your main holdings on a ledger, because they can freeze bank accounts. So if you want to sell off your crypto and then have it withdraw to a bank account, they could freeze it. Or if they want to freeze your crypto in your exchange, they could do that because there's a central authority that is holding your crypto. When it's on your ledger, it's offline. You own it. It's your keys, your cheese. That's what I like to say. So you want to put most of your holdings on your ledger, the ones that you're going to hold for a long time, and then a smaller percentage of your holdings on the exchange, on a reputable exchange, in case anything of like this were to happen in the US, because you can never be so sure. So nothing makes the case for crypto more than a government freezing bank accounts to suppress free speech. So let's hear this real quick.
With anyone involved in the illegal blockades and report to the RCMP or CSIS. As of today, a bank or other financial service provider will be able to immediately freeze or suspend an account without a court order. In doing so, they will be protected against civil liability for actions taken in good faith. Federal government institutions will have a new broad authority to share relevant information with banks and other financial service providers to ensure their relationships.
That's ridiculous. So no questions asked. They can just freeze your bank account without being held liable to any civil court order or anything like that. It's ridiculous. So this is making the case for crypto, but it's even making a deeper case into putting your crypto on a ledger. So definitely important, especially because this involves kind of us as well too. So the SEC is examining links between the US arm of Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange and trading firm tied to its founder. So it looks like they're probing into Binance.us. If you have most of your stuff on Binance.us, I'd say put it on a ledger or put it on Coinbase or put it on somewhere else where it's disperse your funds. You don't want to have everything on one exchange. I still have stuff on Binance. I'm going to keep it there, but it's like a small percentage of what I hold. And it's something that I'm comfortable that if the exchange were to get, shut down, I'd be comfortable losing it. So definitely you want to withdraw your stuff, put it on a ledger or withdraw it to Coinbase. Then let's dive into the next thing. So this is so Corey Johnson back in like 2017, 18, or 19, he was working for Ripple, and he was like director of like partnerships with like governments. And you can see right here, he tweeted out, I'll say it again, this matters. And he says hashtag XRP. He's shaking hands with the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. So something might be up there. We got to look into it. We have Senator Ted Cruz. He's been buying Bitcoin weekly for several months. So these politicians are getting on board. The states are getting on board because Colorado will accept Bitcoin for tax payments this year. And then you have Coinbase, the largest U.S. cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume, will hire up to 2,000 people in 2022 as it seeks to take advantage of opportunities in development of Web3. So they know that they're seeing influxes of demand of people coming in trying to get into crypto. They need to beef up how many people they have employed at Coinbase to keep up with the amount of demand. So you like to see that. And then we have, this is huge because the New York Stock Exchange has filed an application with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for its own NFT marketplace, basically putting it on par with OpenSea, competing it with OpenSea. But think about people on the stock market being able to trade directly through their brokerage accounts or their retirements or IRAs, being able to trade with NFTs directly right on there. We already know that all the money, the world's visualization thing that I show you guys, you can see stock markets right here. It's actually 90 trillion, but the New York Stock Exchange, 31% of that, you're talking $30 trillion just on the NYSE. And then we had, so $30 trillion being able to potentially go into NFTs. NFTs might blow up. They're going to blow up this year if this happens this year, but it looks like they're diving deep into it. So let's keep going. So NFTs will start cars. They're open houses, gates, real world events, represent ownership contracts for $1 million real world assets. So the JPEGs, like the drawings and everything, is just a test whether you're looking beyond surface level, because NFTs can be real estate. It can be like just how I have an access pass to portals, that metaverse on Solana. That can be an access pass to get into my house or get into my real world life apartment. So this is going to represent everything real world assets. Now let's keep going. So this is Steve Aoki. He says he's made more money with NFTs than from 10 years in the music industry. So NFTs, new way of kind of being an artist and distributing your music. And he's made more money than the last 10 years of being in the industry. So we can see, I've been saying it, the cyber attacks. So Ukraine got hit with it, multiple websites down. Ministry of Defense, Armed Forces, banks, they got hit with the cyber attack. And we've been calling it. And then we have here, yep, Ukraine bank hit with cyber attacks. So ISO 222 brings benefits for banks and their customers. Hear from Dutch Bank and HSBC how the standard is transforming cross-border payments and how the financial industry is getting ready. I'm going heavy into ISO 222 coins this year because November is that Big Bang migration, and then next year as well too. I believe the Federal Reserve November 2023 is doing that Big Bang migration. So it's coming up, the ISO 222 Big Bang, and I want to get into those coins that have that compliance to it because those are going to soak up a lot of the money. And then it looks like the U.S. Federal Reserve released another paper saying, would a U.S. Cbdc replace cash or paper currency? And this looks like a thread, so let's quickly look at it. So you see here, while the Federal Reserve has made no decisions on whether to pursue or implement a central bank digital currency, we have been exploring the potential benefits and risks from a variety of angles, including through technological research and experimentation. The Federal Reserve Board issued a discussion paper examining pros and cons of a potential U.S. CBDC. As part of this process, we are seeking public feedback on a range of topics related to CBDC, and the Federal Reserve is committed to hearing a wide range of voices on these topics. So they're going to be doing it. They wouldn't be testing, experimenting with it if it wouldn't be something that they're going to end up implementing down the line. So we can count on that. Then we have Mastercard bets big on crypto, hires 500 people. We already know Coinbase hiring 2,000 people. And then look at this as well too, because remember the green finance video. Mastercard says its new practices will focus on such areas as crypto and digital currencies and ESG, environmental social governance. So ESG, we need to keep in mind of that. Then we have 18 major crypto firms active in the U.S. have joined together to build compliance with global anti-money laundering rules. So it's called the Travel Rule. It's the 18-member Travel Rule Universal Solution Technology Initiative. Crypto heavyweights Coinbase, Fidelity, Robinhood back it. And let's dive into it real quick, see if we can find any other companies that are involved with it and kind of what it is. So let's see. This is weird how, all right, there we go. So here we go. You see that we have these exchanges, a lot of them that we use. So right here, we have another article saying crypto firms can't outrun the travel rule. So firms need to accept their regulatory responsibilities, says the president of FATF, the global anti-money laundering watchdog. So it's talking about how the crypto firms that we're transacting with, they need to be compliant with the travel rule and anti-money laundering guidance. So we want to make sure that we're on reputable exchanges that are tied up and that are implementing this stuff, because when regulations do kick in, it's likely the ones that aren't following these rules will be blown off the map. So definitely either the ledger or reputable exchanges. We already know which ones those are. So let's keep going here. So Morgan Stanley says Ethereum is less decentralized than Bitcoin, with the top 100 addresses holding 39% of Ethereum compared to just 14% for Bitcoin. There could potentially be a case against Ethereum. We're talking about close to 50% of the total supply of Ethereum is only held by 100 addresses. They're going to be looking into this stuff because they're looking for cryptocurrencies that are decentralized. And that does not seem decentralized at all. 39% of all Ethereum held by 100 addresses. What if all of them decided to dump? There goes Ethereum. That would be the end of it. So there's got to be something that is probed about this, or regulatory clarity that kind of outlines how crypto needs to be decentralized. But that's crazy. Morgan Stanley calling that out. And then Bank of America, the metaverse is now like social media in its beginning, and it's so true. It's going to be huge. Then we have YouTube hiring a Web3 director to build its strategy and vision. Then we have the metaverse is a $1 trillion market opportunity, according to JP Morgan, which just bought some virtual space in Decentraland, and they opened up a lounge called Onyx. It's crazy. JP Morgan was talking mad crap about crypto for years, saying that they'll fire anybody caught trading Bitcoin, and now they're the first bank in Decentraland in the metaverse. It's surely nuts. Then we have Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and Tekken video game publisher will invest $130 million to build a metaverse. This is going to be huge. A lot of people love this stuff. Then we have next Thursday. So in about 8 days, Ripple versus SEC. It's a big day. We're waiting on something to drop, and it could be something that could turn over the case. So we're going to keep an eye on that next week. And then the court case could make XRP the only crypto asset with regulatory clarity in the US. So Ripple shares sold out ahead of key events in Xrp lawsuit. Let's go into it. So what is coming? So the deadline to unseal Ripple's memos publicly is February 17th, the same day the SEC will file its motion for partial reconsideration over Judge Sarah Netburn's DPP ruling, which will not be fully briefed until February 25th. Ripple has 1 week to respond to that motion. So this is the time frame, guys. Some stuff's going to go down, but next week's a big week, and then March is going to be even bigger. So we'll see what happens, and it's looking like the SEC is getting smoked by Ripple. So definitely, if their shares are selling out ahead of key events, maybe some insiders know what's going to unfold. So we'll see, and we'll be watching along with it. And now I'm going to dive into a market update, guys. So I'll see you in that video.